Good evening, viewers. It's Alex here for Battalion Film. So last night I went to go see Skyfall, and yeah, I heard a lot of mixed opinions about it, and some were valid, some not so much. My stepdad, for example, said that the film was just basically a load of people standing around talking all the time, and a valid point, yes, but it also gave more depth to the story to me, for me anyway, from my personal opinion. Um, I'm not sure if I like how it follows a new arc to the story because it doesn't follow on from Quantum of Solace or Casino Royale. It follows a completely new arc, which kind of explains the continuity hole with the DB5. Um, yeah, you guys will know that already. I do like how like the new villain is semi-insane. It's rather funny how he can be. He has a sort of comedic edge to an insane person that's not really seen in many films, especially not in James Bond. Um, I I did enjoy how they brought back Bond's classic handgun, the Walther PPK, even though it's a newer version. That was a really nice touch. I know they brought it back sometime in Quantum of Solace, but um, in the more recent films from between the end of Tomorrow Never Dies and Casino Royale, they used the Walther P99, and I'm just glad they brought back the PPK because that was Bond's signature gun. It always has been. It always will be. And that was just a really good. That was a really good shout out to. That was just a shout out to what Bond used to be, which I really liked. The DB5 was a big reference to Goldfinger. It had the machine guns and the ejector seat. It was basically a carbon copy of what the DB5 was in Goldfinger, which, in a sense, it's not very original, but it really works really well because, well, it's James Bond. So we're gonna, so we're just gonna go with that, right? Yeah, it has the old ejector seat. Yes, the good old trick. Funny, funny, funny. Okay. Next, I'm gonna address some of the issues I had with Skyfall. Um, after after the first action scene in Turkey where the film starts, it kind of went a little bit slow. It was a lot more subtle, which isn't really much of an issue as such as the fact that it's not something we've really seen in Bond, not for an extended period of time, um, which is which is pretty unusual because there's always this one subtle scene where Bond isn't a badass for a little while, and then things just kick off. And a lot of the film is based around the subtlety of being Bond, which is new. It's new, it's creative, and it works. It really, really works. A lot of all the special effects in that film have been really, really well done, and I'm really happy how they managed to they managed to do it. Well, it took them 3 years to do it because initially I believe it was scrapped, but they brought it back and they did a really great job with it. Sam Mendes, this is his first Bond film, I believe, and this this kind of led me to believe, as referenced in Jack Howard's review of Skyfall for gbposters.co.uk. Jack Howard's review did mention that that would worry a lot of people because it's his first Bond film and maybe he didn't know how Bond really worked. Well, I believe that he's done it really well. He must have done a lot of research, like to make Bond the way he is, and he wanted to, and I guess he wanted to show Bond as a more subtle character with his own issues. Um, it kind of delves more into the past of Bond, where other films have not. They just show what he's like in the present. They never really delve into his past, and I really like how they bring up his backstory to a certain degree, and it was really it was just really awesome because it develops Bond's character beyond the badassery that he already is, which it shows like I mean it's referenced loosely in Casino Royale, and it's referenced in a couple of other films, but they never really delved into it. And what Sam Mendes has done with this is he's taken those references like from the previous films, and he's kind of gone deeper into Bond's backstory, into how things work for Bond and how he tries to deal with his issues. And this really constitutes a really good backdrop for Bond. This shows why he became such a cold bastard. So yeah, Sam Mendes himself, this is his first Bond film, and this kind of had me worried at the start. And then I realized, as the film went on, I realized that he'd really done his homework on Bond, and what he'd done, he hasn't really changed much about Bond. He's just changed how they approach the Bond films, because instead of going straight through badassery all the way through the film, he's gone to create like a whole entire plethora of possibilities for Bond. Um, there were so many different things they could do in the future with Bond because of what Sam Mendes has done. I'm not going to list them because, well, the possibilities are there. You figure them out. Okay. That I really enjoyed the film because, well, it was Bond. And that's not me just being a fanboy. That's just me saying it's Bond. It's good. It's got it. Well, all right. General rule of thumb with James Bond: if it's gonna be Bond, it's gonna have drama, sex, action, right? And and this film covers all three of those to a T. And I'm really happy about what Sam Mendes has done. I hope to see more from Sam Mendes in the way of Bond in the future. So I'm gonna I'm gonna leave it here because we're getting on for 8 minutes. If you have any comments on on the points I brought up here today, then please leave them in the comment box below. And please subscribe because that really helps me too. I will see you guys at some point, and we'll talk about another film or game later. Okay, bye.